This interview is for information only and should not be considered as investment advice or a recommendation to buy shares in the company featured. Welcome to this Stock Box interview.
Joining us today from the site of the M3 Helium project in Kansas is the CEO of Voyager Life, Nick Tulloch. Thank you very much for your time today, Nick. How are you?
I'm very well, thanks, Mark. Beautiful sunny day in Kansas, a little bit hot, but otherwise all good.
Good. Well, thank you very much for joining us. What's the reason for your trip, first of all?
Well, we entered into an option to buy M3 on the 27th of June, and so my plan has been to come out, really as soon as I could, to get to know the people, to get to see the sites, and see some of the wells that we've got, and we'll talk a bit more about what we're doing. But it's really about getting prepared to exercise that option and to bring the two companies together.
Okay. Well, of course, we spoke last week about the well that you had tested at Fort Dodge area, revealing economic levels of helium. But this is a different well, isn't it? Could you tell us about this well and the work you're doing on it?
Yeah, absolutely. So just to orientate you, Fort Dodge is around about an hour's drive in that direction. And where I'm standing is the Smith well, which is one of the earlier wells that M3 drilled. I'm right in the middle of the Hugoton gas field, and this is a gas field that's been active for around about 90 years. Exxon in particular have been one of the main operators. And what we're doing with the Smith well is maybe a little bit of an experiment. We're perhaps going to try and prove that what Exxon thought some years back is maybe not quite correct, and this well has got a fair bit of life in it yet.
What makes you think that then you're right and Exxon, of course one of the world's biggest explorers and powerful corporations, dismissed this prematurely?
Well, we have a very smart guy on the team called Paul Mendel, and what Paul has worked out is that whereas Exxon thought that they'd be drilling into salt water if they went much deeper, we think we're in a transition zone. Now there are wells producing in the area, and we're sort of surrounded by a very, very flat landscape, but there are wells producing in the area which have got a shut-in pressure of around about 15 pounds per square inch. Our gauge on this well at the moment is showing 150 pounds per square inch. But what that doesn't show is that we're about 1,000 foot down, there's probably a further 200 pounds worth of water pressure. So we think we've got a well that could be in the sort of 300s or 400s of pounds of square inch of pressure. And what we're going to try and do in a few minutes is a bit of an experiment to prove that in that transition zone we can extract gas, try and flare off some of the methane, to demonstrate that actually with modern techniques and a reinterpretation of geology, there is an economic well here.
Okay, and are you saying then that sort of perhaps circa 70% of what existing back almost a century ago perhaps still remains down there?
I mean, it's hard to say. I mean, the 70% is based on what we think the pressure is under the ground versus what we're seeing at the moment. The question I'm supposed to ask is how much of that is gas and how much is water? Now, if we're getting 10% gas and 90% water, this is maybe not such a great success. But if around about 30% of what we can extract is gas, then we've got a very economic and very, very interesting well here.
Okay, well, a little early you did do that test, didn't you? And you said that the pressure is still sitting at 150 psi. You're expecting quite a big reaction. So let's take a look at that test video now. What do you make of that then, Nick?
I think that probably couldn't have gone a whole lot better. So just to explain, we had the valve open around about half to three quarters. So we weren't even fully showing the pressure in the well. You can see the size of the flame that came out. I suppose the good news is we didn't set ourselves on fire. We didn't set Kansas on fire, but we got a pretty good show of the pressure, and hopefully you can hear it as well on the video as to the power of the gas rushing out.
No, we did, absolutely. So what would be the next course of action that you'll take?
Well, the next course of action, and the reason why we did that experiment was to vent the gas. We're tying in this well, the Smith well, and also tying in the Nilsson well over the next couple of days, meaning we're connecting these wells to a nearby pipeline. So the production we're taking out of the ground on both of these wells will start to go to market. It's with our partner Scout, who we've referred to before in previous videos. But we'll get the helium and get the gas to market and start generating some revenue for the company.
Okay, excellent. We'll look forward to seeing that, Nick, when it happens and discussing some of those flow rates. But thank you very much for your time today.
Terrific. Thank you, Mark.
If you enjoyed this interview, then give us a thumbs up, a like or a retweet. Subscribe to us on YouTube or follow us on Twitter and hit that notification bell to be the first to know when we release new content. There's loads of great content on our website too, across all our programs at stockboxmedia.com. Thank you for watching.